Have you ever really thought about what happens when you click a link? I mean, really thought about it? There's this whole hidden world of invisible gatekeepers out there called proxies. They're basically the unsung heroes of the internet, handling tons of traffic. But what's super interesting is that their job completely flips depending on which way they're facing. And that's what we're going to break down today. So, when you go to, say, a popular website, you probably imagine your computer making a direct call to that site's servers. Makes sense, right? But what if I told you that's not actually what's happening most of the time? The truth is a little more complicated and honestly, way more interesting. And this is where our deep dive into the world of proxies really kicks off. All right, so first things first, what even is a proxy? The simplest way to think about it is as a middleman. It's just a server that sits right between you and the rest of the internet. Okay, let's get just a little more specific. A proxy server is basically an intermediary that's acting on your behalf. So you tell it, hey, I want to go to this website, and the proxy takes that request, goes out and gets the information for you, and then brings it back. The key takeaway here is that it creates this buffer, this layer of separation between your computer and the websites you're visiting. You know, a really good analogy is to think of it in two ways. First, a proxy can be like your personal secret agent. You give it a mission, go get this web page, and it goes out, does the job, and makes sure nobody knows it was you who sent it. But it can also be like a corporate receptionist for a big company. It stands at the front door, fielding all incoming calls and visitors before they can bother the important servers in the back. And that difference, right there, that's everything. That's the core of what we're talking about today. Okay, let's stick with that first idea, the personal agent. This is what we call a forward proxy. It's the one that's acting as a trusted representative for you, the client. So how does this work in practice? Well, let's say you want to visit a website. Instead of your request going straight from your computer to that site, it first goes to the forward proxy. Then the proxy forwards your request on to the website. Now, here's the cool part. From the website's point of view, the request came from the proxy, not from you. Then the website sends the data back to the proxy, which then finally sends it to you. The most important thing to remember here is the direction. The traffic is flowing outbound, away from you and your network. So why would you even want to do this? Well, a forward proxy has some really cool functions, all designed to help you, the client. First, it can hide your real IP address, which gives you a layer of anonymity. It can also help you get around things like geo-restrictions or censorship. You've probably heard of that. Big companies or schools often use them to enforce their security policies, blocking certain sites. And they can even speed things up by caching data, basically saving copies of things you ask for a lot so they don't have to go get it every single time. It's all about protecting the client. All right, so we've covered the proxy that works for you. Now let's completely flip the script. Remember that corporate receptionist analogy? That's where the reverse proxy comes in, and its job is to be the silent guardian for the web servers. The big change here, and you'll see it right away, is the direction of the traffic. This time, when you send a request to a website, it gets picked up by the reverse proxy before it ever reaches the actual web server. In fact, you never talk to the real server at all. The proxy acts as the gatekeeper, figures out which of its internal servers should handle your request, and then passes the response back to you. So now, the traffic is flowing inbound into the server's network. And what's really fascinating here is that the reverse proxy's entire purpose is to protect and optimize the server's performance. It's like an air traffic controller for web requests, spreading them out across a bunch of different servers so no single one gets overloaded. That's called load balancing. It's also a huge deal for security because it hides the real servers from direct attacks. And just like a forward proxy, it can cache content, but this time it's to make the site faster for every single visitor. This is actually the fundamental idea behind content delivery networks, or CDNs, which are pretty much everywhere on the modern web. Okay, so we have the client's agent, the forward proxy, and the server's guardian, the reverse proxy. Let's put them side by side and really nail down the difference. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. It all comes down to two things: who is being protected and the direction of the traffic. A forward proxy protects the client, that's you, and it sits in front of your network managing outbound traffic. Its main job is anonymity and access control. A reverse proxy protects the server. It sits in front of the web servers managing inbound traffic, and its whole purpose is security and load balancing. See? It's the same core idea, but the application is a complete mirror image, all based on that flow of data. So I know this can feel a little technical, a little in the weeds, but trust me, Understanding this distinction is absolutely key to understanding how our modern internet actually works. Why is this fast and as secure as it is? I mean, think about it. Every single time you go to a major website, Netflix, Amazon, you name it, you are, without a doubt, talking to a reverse proxy. It's the thing that's handling the massive load and keeping the site safe. And if you're at work or at a university or using a VPN right now, you're almost certainly behind a forward proxy. These two systems, working on opposite sides of the connection, are literally the backbone of the fast, scalable, and secure internet we all just take for granted. So it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? As you're browsing the web right now, you're passing through these invisible gatekeepers all the time. The real question is, which kind of proxy is protecting you right now? And who is it really working for? You or the website you're visiting? The fascinating answer is probably both.